shirt.
Well, I look a little better than you, period. It's a curse.
George has got me worried, but I know where he's coming from.
I've decided I'm going to shut up. You run the show.
Okay, let's get back to our guest. Larry, welcome.
I broke his leg twice. But this is a pod show. We try to keep it professional.
But I think I could trach somebody with that if I had to.
Okay, enough ads.
But yeah.
Can we talk about me again?
No.
Okay, good. So that means we're gonna have to end this show.
Cut it quick enough.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go. Oh, okay. You want me there? You get headphones or what? Welcome to Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. Tonight we have a very special guest coming in. All the way from Encinitas, California. His name's Larry, Captain Larry, to most of you out there. But Larry's going to speak a little bit about what he carries on his motorcycle rides. But first, if you're just tuning in, we fired Jimmy. Oh, there he is. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just put that up. I like that. No, Jimmy's been asked to step aside because he's just no longer worthy, according to recent polls and figures. The latest polls have him behind by 42 points. But anyway, if you're just tuning in, this is supposed to be a show where we talk about dirt bikes or motorcycles. Dirt bikes and dirt bike related products.
You can say motorcycles
and you can come in live. You didn't put up any. Oh, there it is. Logan looks very old. Mark Daniels. Hola, Jorge. Good. My name's George. I've been on here before. Most recently, some of our viewers have asked for my presence more frequently on the show, and so that's what we're doing here today. Anyway, sponsor list. Jimmy, do you have a sponsor list?
Yeah, right underneath the goggles.
Well, so these are some of the people that bring this phenomenal show to you. Yamaha, of course, Yamaha Motorsports, Taco Moto, Scott Sports, Climb, DDC, Trail Tech, Fasst Company, Bulletproof Designs, and Double Take Mirrors. Thank you, all those people who keep Jimmy afloat. So tonight we're going to have an episode on very talented athletes and how they repel money and they can't seem to monetize their previous careers. But anyway, sitting next to me is, I didn't say you could speak.
Is there any audio on this whole thing? Did you check?
No, I didn't check.
Okay, you got it.
How do I know? Somebody's got to write in. If we had a viewer, we could.
You don't have any
know
viewers?
that, but we don't have any viewers. Victor, can you hear me? Do we have to do sign language? Are we going out? Okay, we're going out.
You're running the show,
everybody
George.
Here, so we're great. So sitting next to me is Larry. Larry is a retired captain. He's an EMT.
Yeah.
Right? Still current EMT.
Yeah.
Good friend of Jimmy's. Good friend of mine. And you're flashing all this stuff around on that screen. It's distracting me. It's pictures of you.
Wait a minute. If they wanted to have me on the show, like I could be right there. Look. So you could just pretend like you're me and just babble relentlessly. You don't want any of those papers right there. That's old stuff. The papers you need are right in front of you. Your producer.
Oh, okay.
You told me before this show. Hold on. You told me before this show. I distinctly remember you said, "Why don't you just step aside and push the buttons like the other monkey that used to do it, and I'll handle it."
Monkeys plural. You've had a couple.
Right.
Yeah, I'll handle it.
Yeah. I didn't use any names.
Okay. So.
And by monkeys, I mean a very obedient servant.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to wait until somebody else can come in here to help answer some of the technical questions. But I did want to read one note sent in by Sanders Sandwiches 1623. Let me quote him. George is great to keep Jimmy on track with his scatterbrained thoughts. You two work well together, but I can't help but notice that George reminds me of the comedian Steven Alexander Wright. With his monotone voice. What monotone voice? Can't you hear all the excitement and inflection? You should co-host more because you keep Jimmy moving forward and on task with the show. Thanks for the funny and informative content. 208 shows and still haven't figured out the correct sound. No, we haven't.
Well, we're working on it. I'm over here pushing the buttons like I'm supposed to.
Could you hand me that bag?
Off screen. Oh no!
Absolutely.
Hey, you see, this is why you hosts need a little bit of help. There's a certain amount of show prep that should be done.
Yep.
And as a professional, in all aspects of my life, professional. Hold on one second. Here, George. You know what a real co-host does?
Yeah. You got to get that off the screen up there. I can't even read what the people are, what your two follows are saying. So anyway, yeah, Victor sent this in because we have audio trouble. So I think we're gonna have to list him as a sponsor.
Is that what came out of that bag?
Yeah, Victor thought this would help,
You bought that.
and so we kind of thought maybe if you have one. Can you hear me, Larry?
Oh,
Can you hear me?
absolutely.
Can the producer over here get one too?
Well,
Clear as mud.
this one, it's kind of a three-way thing. This one I think needs to
That
go
goes
out to our guest.
to the internets.
Yeah, I mean, can you hear me from there?
But what about your producer? No, I can't hear you over here.
Well, it's a failure on Victor's part. I think we need a
So
longer
you're
string.
playing with this thing. It's called a cup on a string. What did you pay for that?
No, it's
You came for it. Did it come out of that Amazon bag that showed up earlier?
anyway. I got to keep Jimmy on track.
These are really professional looking cups on a string. Jim, do you want to test this out and see whether it really works?
Blanco, 100% agave. Jim, can you hear us?
I can see it.
So thanks, Victor. Our sound's already improved. It's working.
Well, it's because I'm
Agave.
sitting here behind the controls. It's like if I can affect anything in the show. Here's how dedicated I am to this show. Although you can't see me right now. I mean, if you want to, I'm sure there's a way we can fix that. If you're watching this live, we can get the best host ever there. But tonight you have George. He's gonna take care of this. It's no problem. But you got to remember all the things you need to do. And since I wasn't out just gallivanting around town enjoying, don't push any of those buttons. Yeah, don't push those buttons. Yeah, that thing's broken right now. That's what the big panic was
But it
before the
shouldn't
show.
do anything.
You could shut this whole thing down real quick.
Wouldn't be the first time, would it?
So, I wasn't out. I was slaving all day long behind the computer, in the backgrounds, making stuff happen. The stuff that a producer should do while you guys were out, like riding your dirt bikes and shooting your guns and hanging out at the Italian restaurant. Thank you for getting me a pizza, but I didn't expect a pizza. You guys called and said, "Hey, Jimmy, why don't you?"
Is this where I step in and get him back on the
Back
rails?
on track.
No.
Back on track.
It's just a motorcycle show. We talk about dirt bike and motorcycle related products, but
Roger's looking for the locomotive.
I'm trying to explain that I wasn't distracted from making this show excellent. I didn't succumb to the free dinner that you were going to offer me. I stayed here and slaved behind the scenes so that I could be prepared to say, "Hey, you know what? The Tech Talk Taco Tuesday T-shirt, which Larry is wearing right now." He doesn't even know it, but he's wearing the new Tech Talk Taco Tuesday T-shirt. Here, Larry, take that shirt off. Okay, so good, but it looks a lot better on you. You can order those now on the internets, and I'm going to put the link up in the chat. So if you haven't ordered yours, you'd better do it before this show or at least the next one, because we're going to place the order, and when they're done, they're done. Do you know about this, George?
Oh, you were talking? What?
Yeah. I was hoping that.
Good. So place your orders. Look at that shirt with a taco and the motorcycle. That was pretty good how you put it on Larry like that. I like
What
that.
about you? You want to wear one too?
So, yeah, I'd love
Okay,
it.
good. Yeah, why don't you wear your tucked? Well, if you're a little bit taller, George, you could see the whole thing. But you look good in that shirt. I really think
No, I think I do.
that gray Tech Talk Taco Tuesday shirt works really good on you.
It does.
Yeah. But this is a pod show. We try to keep it professional. That's
Yeah,
another
real
nice
professional.
shirt.
So let's get back to
Those
our
ones
guest.
cost about $1,250 these days.
Our guest, did you catch up on those? Is that the size of your order you put in?
So
anyway.
I didn't get to that
Thank
part
you.
today.
How
Did
do
you
I-
get the schedule for our
Which
new
one?
our new class
Are you
schedule?
microphone 3 or what? Where does
Am
it
I too hot?
where does
Am
it
I a little
shut
hot
down?
on you guys?
Where does it just shut it off?
No, I can shut
Get
myself
back to our
down.
guest. He came all the way here from California just to do this.
Typically, you burn about the first 15 minutes of show with all our.
Well, you do. That's all going to change. This isn't going to be an hour and 45 minutes of your life that
Okay,
you'll
I've
never
just-
get back instead of 2.
I've decided I'm going to shut up. You run the show.
Okay. let's get back to our guest. Larry, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
What have
Jimmy,
you been doing the last few days?
having a lot of fun out here. Taking the class with Jimmy, George, and Jim over here, and yeah, soaking it up and learning more.
Yeah. What else did we do? What did we just get back from?
Well, we did a little shotgun shooting out at the range,
Yeah.
and we did some 5-stand and some sporting clays. That took up the afternoon. A little bit. Of
Guys, just to let you know, it's a motorcycle and motorcycle product related thing. And Larry, just step a little closer to that microphone for us there, would you?
Alright.
Good.
But if you come
Just
out
scoot
here,
right up. Don't be scared.
If you come out here to ride motorcycles, those are other things you can do to recreate. Go shoot. We talked about going and driving Corvettes really fast around the track over there, but we didn't do any of that.
Yeah, not yet.
Tell us a little bit about your background, where you come from.
Oh, okay. Well, I ran part of the coastline in northern San Diego County for about 33 years.
You ran part of it?
ran
so
it
were you
as-
like the king, or?
Well, public safety side of that.
Yeah.
So, basically a marine safety department, kind of like Baywatch. And so I had a great team of people that I worked with. Had a great career and did 33 years and just got out about 2.5 years ago. And now I'm able to go out and spend time and do things I enjoy and hang out with people.
Yeah, so you mentioned Baywatch, so you brought that on.
I did.
Did you guys in the early days, what was Baywatch in the 80s?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys do that really slow run?
No.
Down the beach to rescue people, through the surf? No, that wasn't.
No, we were pretty fast about it.
So anyway, I don't know if what generated this, but Jimmy thought it'd be kind of good to have you. I think I don't know if it was a question from somebody, but we always talk about what gear to take with you on the trail and what to minimize. And so we were talking the other day about.
Okay, George, just
Medically.
the producer's stepping in here real quick. So
See, he just can't help himself.
so Larry's been on the show before. He's Captain Safety Larry.
Okay.
Yeah,
but
Larry
he's trying
Giles,
to
Captain.
I get
Captain
titles left and
Safety.
right
So
here.
I guess we're having another episode of Captain
But
Safety.
since you don't pay attention, you don't follow all the episodes. I heard you're behind a few
I'm
episodes.
old. Yeah, I'm behind a few.
So
Because it was only a 12-hour drive here, so I could only catch up on about 2 episodes. Anyway.
So yeah, you need to talk into the mic just a little bit more. Just gargle that thing there,
Okay.
George, too.
Well, I'm turning towards Larry a little, so I got to
Right.
turn the mic.
Yep.
So we talked about what first, what kind of injuries might you encounter that would render like immediate attention and have to do something? Like we talked about, we just went for a little ride and we're out there in the desert. What happens? What would be like life-saving or critical type of injury where you'd have to take action, I guess?
Yeah, so I don't know if I could provide a little bit of a takeaway from this segment here. I look at it for myself or people I'm riding with. If we're out, in a rural area and it's a long ETA for, first responders to get there and help you out, what can you really do? And so I brought my pack here tonight, and so I carry this pack on my back every time I ride. And so some of the things that I think about is like what's actually possible out there that you can stop something from progressing to a serious situation. And so I think, as an EMT and a lot of the calls I've been on, I ponder all the time about like, hey, if I'm in an incident or my friends are, what am I going to do that'll make a difference?
Who makes that pack?
So Climb makes this pack.
Like that, Jim?
When you so George, just the one little tip here. So when you read off the sponsors, which you probably got to, but might have been distracted by the producer.
I just read them through them quick to comply.
Right. So at this point, you would roll down there and say how much fun you had not ride. How bummed out you were because when you were riding today, you weren't riding an awesome Yamaha like I always do. Right.
No, I wasn't riding the Yamaha.
But you guys got to ride Yamahas this
But I
weekend.
rode Yamahas all weekend.
How awesome is the T7?
Well, that bike, it's a real tall bike for me.
Because I put a tall seat on it.
We
so
also rode another bike. You wanted me to talk about that one?
the 450 or the 250?
No.
The 250 needs some work.
No, what is that? What was that?
WR 250.
1100, 1,700?
What else did you ride?
There's some red out there.
Red ones. We rode red bikes.
Well, Red Company.
Red Company. I did like Hondas.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Oh, we have the test bike.
Transalp.
Yeah, the Transalp. I forgot about that.
Transalp out there going around.
Yeah, that's
But
not.
anyway, okay.
So you'd say, hey, Climb, one of our sponsors, makes these awesome backpacks. That's called the Climb Knack Pack. That's the one that Jimmy Lewis wears all the time.
It is.
It has
You
just
know what? I was wearing an older version of that today, riding.
right.
I don't know. Maybe it's the smaller one. It's a little bit smaller. Or is that just a new version?
They've changed them. They've updated them a few times. They
Anyway,
make good
yeah,
updates.
I had one, and I wore Scott goggles with that transition lens, which leads me to ask another question, but I'll do that later.
I'm just gonna have a sip of beer, so you keep talking. Doing this show
So
hosting
anyway,
thing.
Larry carries in his pack regularly.
Yeah. So, if you don't have a plan, that's a plan to fail. So I come up with a plan for myself and people that I ride with, and some of the things that you can do in a rural situation if you have a crash or you land in the rocks or, in the bushes and you have, multiple injuries and things like that. One of the first things that really come to my mind is bleeding control. And in that situation, there's some really simple things out there that you can have. And I carry this in my pack. I bring 2 tourniquets. And I size these tourniquets up, put one around my leg and the other one around my arm. And I could do it myself with one hand if I had to.
So you pre-size, they're Velcro adjustable, but you
Yeah.
pre-size it so you can slip one over your arm if your arm's bleeding
Exactly.
to that degree, and you pre-size the other one to fit over your thigh with your gear on or whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
And so, here's your arm. I want to use you as my mannequin. So simply place it on there, and if you had to do it yourself, you can come up and go ahead and reach and grab this and go ahead and twist it with your
with
other
my
hand.
good arm.
Yeah. And basically, we're not going to teach you.
Larry's arm's a lot bigger than mine, so actually, I think this is the
Pull
one.
this tight.
This is the one fit to his thigh.
A good host of a podcast, since not everybody's watching this live right now, he would be describing what is going on. So, Captain Safety Larry now has pulled out the 2 tourniquets that he carries with him. And Larry, what are there brands? Are they easy to find? Where do you get these?
So you can get them online. There's all sorts of different folks out there, companies that manufacture these. And I picked this one. I like it a lot. I don't want George to go to the point where he's going to lose circulation, but it's quite easy.
Oh, no, let him. It's fun because he likes to overserve me on this show.
Safety off,
Yeah, we got a little gate right
so
there.
I'm already dead,
So basically,
and it just hooks in on itself.
Yeah,
I'm
just-
familiar with these, but even though it doesn't look like it.
And the reason for having this,
And
I mean,
I'm
this is
supposed to put that right over my brachial, right?
this is the first thing that you've pulled out. And remember, most people that are watching this show are probably like me, and they're not very medically trained. That's why I'm kind of paying attention to this because I want to learn this stuff. Why this in particular?
I think it's one of the underrated things that you can carry that really going to make a difference. If you're out there and somebody stops breathing and, you can open their airway, do CPR, take a CPR class, that really does work. I've seen it, time and time again.
And that requires no additional equipment. That's brain power.
Correct, yeah. And so that would be the first thing, airway, breathing, and circulation. And so if you can do anything, take a CPR class, go out, get a couple of these right here, these great tourniquets. They're not expensive, and put them in your pack, and just at least do that. Have that there.
Do you think you can get that around George's neck?
Well,
Yeah, you don't use
anything's possible.
for a nosebleed.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get a nosebleed, put it around your neck.
Yeah. Okay.
But
sure.
if you want to take it the next level, the other thing I did, if for some reason you go into a tree or something like that, or you get a puncture or something basically penetrates and pulls out of you, basically I got this rolled gauze as a quick clot, and I like that. It works really well. You definitely need to get some training on that. There's different types out there, and so you can get on the internet and find what you think is going to be best for you to apply.
Victor asked about quick clot. I have some quick clot in some of my kits around, thinking more along the lines of gunshot. And, Now I can't read any of those comments up there, Jimmy.
I'll handle the comments. You just pay attention to keeping the show flowing.
Yeah,
like
you
the
mentioned
downhill river off a cliff that it usually is.
Yeah, so the other night we were sitting around talking. You mentioned something pretty direct and eloquent, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but it basically said you're going to deal with getting a heart started or controlling bleeding are the two. You better do something now or it's just over.
Yeah. CPR and control bleeding are one of the two biggest things that you can do in a rural setting, and they're very easy, and it's an easy plan. And those things will make a big difference when those situations arise. And, sometimes you're just going to come across a traffic accident or something like that, and you may be the one there, and the only one to make a difference. And so they're light. I'm not carrying a whole bunch of equipment in here. This is, probably less than a pound. I put some other stuff in here, Band-Aids. The other thing I do carry is basically 2 blankets for hypothermia. Basically, I carry a blanket in here that is essentially it's a sleeping bag type setup, and then just a regular blanket that I put in here. And
It's like some rubber gloves.
Yeah, rubber gloves. And
is that the kit you take with you if you go hunting? Because you're an outdoorsman and a hunter.
I take it even when I go on the plane, I travel to other countries, and I just go do a simple ride or something like that. This is my go-to pack I carry pretty much everywhere I go.
And I have a kit. It's in a small waterproof zippered yellow thing. Adventure something.
Okay, we're gonna get to these questions
They make
here.
a lot of them, and it has all that. But the tourniquet I'm weak on, and I know I need to get them. And most first responders these days, I think, are going to have a tourniquet on them. Your cops, your firemen, and all that are going to have a tourniquet. So, questions on.
Yeah, gonna do a couple questions here. So it
You want
says
online?
there's a little bit of comments, a little bit of questions. Somebody says crazy glue. Yeah, that's gonna fix a lot, Larry.
Well, have I used it because there was nothing else out there to use? Well, a doctor or your local EMS provider or county EMS are going to say no because there's obviously some chemicals in it. There is medical grade kind of glue that they use to patch up wounds and things like that in the hospital setting. But I've been down in the Baja and gotten cut and didn't have anything else, and it was going to be a day before I got to a doctor. So it does work.
But you're gonna.
I don't recommend it, but
You're gonna either pack with the quick clot or something for a
so-
life-saving thing. To me, I think of using crazy glue as, this is gonna bleed, for 4 hours while I go home. This is a pain because it's running over
So
my eye. So I might crazy glue that. I don't think a life-threatening bleeding situation. Can you see you
The
using
question
crazy
is,
glue?
do you recommend quick clot or is
What
it
is that
better to
noise I
pack
keep
with
hearing?
gauze and keep pressure? We got to get to these questions, George.
well, this quick clot that I carry right here is rolled gauze, and it's basically for temporary external use to control traumatic bleeding. That's what and you can use it, for large lacerations and get that in there and get that wound packed and stop the bleeding. That's the goal. You want to reduce the volume loss of blood on an incident, out there in the field. So
And basically, the ways to control bleeding are direct pressure, right?
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of direct pressure. And we spent a long time talking about that the other night around it was clamp and pack. Was that the term? Yeah, clamp and pack. So clamp.
Wendy Tidwell mentions, "Hey Jimmy," and I don't know why she's talking to me because I'm kind of off screen, but I am still a presence on this show. George, just want you to know, the cheapest and best way to control bleeding in an emergency is a woman's Kotex pad. And stop laughing.
yeah,
No, that was kind of old school. We used to carry those in our kit for that.
yeah. With technology, that's basically what they're made for, is to reduce the amount of blood flow. And there's just all sorts of ways that you can do in the field if you didn't have these, a belt. There's string bands, whatever you have,
Cut
that you can make
the sleeve off your jersey.
that'll work too.
Cut the sleeve off your jersey and use that. Mark Daniels, one of the best pieces of kit is the Israel bandage?
Same type of thing. It's a big feminine napkin-looking thing with ties on it, correct? Is that what we're talking about? Are you familiar with those? It's got some long ties on it.
I've seen them, yeah.
Wrap around,
yeah. Just pull them down, so.
And Gregory mentions, learn how to protect against a femoral bleed out. My dentist friend taught me how to pressurize the femoral artery in the crotch. It ended up saving a man's life that crashed at the track.
So we had, of course, a lot of laughter in the evening where it's not uncommon apparently with the surfers, and you worked on the coast with all that, to get these groin injuries from the board popping up and crashes. So, you can't tourniquet something that high up in your leg. You can't put it around somebody's waist and tourniquet them at the waist. So you just have to get in there and clamp it and pack it with something if you got, and do all you can. Larry's got some graphic illustrations of life-saving techniques he used, and the person even came back later after they're all good and thanked you and showed you the scar. And
we've had those, and we've actually had shark attacks. That those wounds are so massive, and we've ended up just using a trauma blanket and a lot of duct tape and just packed it as best we could to reduce the amount of blood flow that was coming out. And you have to improvise sometimes. These are just basic things that you can carry that will take care of most situations, but I mean, it's not going to cover everything. And so just got to keep your head about you and try to improvise when you're out there and do the best you can to turn that situation around and make it as best as you can, get that person back to medical help.
With fractures, which seem like they're pretty common in things, what are the underlying dangers? I've always heard, you want to immobilize it, right? You don't want it to do other things. So what are the other things that you're worried about when somebody has a distorted arm or obviously fractured arm? Other things inside could be broken and cut, and moving it and not immobilizing it could break and do more damage.
Oh, absolutely. And, you're always concerned about the internal bleeding or injuries that occurred from, traumatic, falls and collisions with rocks or other bikes or cars or so on. So, you got to be able to just, get as much, I would say, training as you possibly can. Go take a first aid class or a first responder class and, try to pick up some of those techniques and tools and ways to identify, certain situations as they develop out there. And, there's signs and symptoms that you can pick up on quickly in those unfortunate situations, and treating for shock is another one. To be able to recognize that's a good tool. But getting back, CPR, learn how to use a tourniquet, go take a class, for a first responder or advanced first aid, and those will very much help you and the other person that are out there. So the other thing is learn how to put this on yourself. A lot of situations you're by yourself and you end up getting injured, and this could save your life. So I highly recommend this.
And I would say, like you said, breathing, circulation, bleeding, and those things that you have to almost instinctively and quickly react to. After that, I would say, having been in a lot of these situations, slow everything down then and formulate a plan before people start running off and doing things, because everybody wants to help, somebody wants to do something, they want to get something in motion, but oftentimes without much thought put into those, now you've kind of made it worse because somebody's run off to go get some help.
George,
really
it kind of sounds like you helping me run this show a little bit better.
That?
Yeah, your technique,
Formulating a plan,
right?
Oh. Do you want me to do this too, like that?
You run. Hold on a second. You'd look a lot better in a. Well, I think Larry would look a lot better in a Jimmy Lewis Off-Road T-shirt. No, wait, no. What T-shirt is this? Oh, the Tech Talk Taco Tuesday T-shirt. Which, by the way, the link is up in the chat, and this may be the last time you'll be able to do it. And to the person that commented in the chats that they're waiting for their invoice, of course you're waiting for your invoice because you saw how long took me to get the form built up. But the invoices are coming.
Somebody asked if there were 2XLs and 3XLs. Did you address that?
I don't think at the moment we have the capabilities to do 2X and 3X because
So you're fat shaming.
well, we don't have extra smaller child sizes too, so we're only taking care of the money making options.
So the little people are also discriminated against.
Right? Yeah, children especially.
Okay. Well, good. Anything else you want to add on that public safety side?
So Larry,
A
I'm
little bit.
I'm super interested, and we're actually I'm trying to keep this section a little light because when we're talking about like having punji sticks go through you and bleeding out from compound fractures and all this shit that happens to us on dirt bikes. At some point, you're going to experience this, and I don't carry a tourniquet. Have never carried a tourniquet. Going to get one of those. I'm going to put it in my kit, and the same thing with the.
You now have a
look at that.
tourniquet.
Went right off the side of the screen here.
There you go.
And the other one is like I said, packing something to stop like the bleeding, because when you think about the stuff, you come up on somebody. I'm just going to throw a scenario out here. Unconscious guy. What do you do, Larry?
Go up there and check and make sure they're breathing. That's the first thing.
Okay, good. Everybody's got this. This is important stuff. Okay, unconscious guy, check their breathing. Okay, let's say maybe not breathing. Where do we go?
Open their airway.
Open the airway. So then we
And get some training
do
on
that.
how to do that.
Yep. So that's CPR training.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's say they are breathing and stuff. What are we doing at that point?
Well, you're checking them for obviously injuries, and you want to make sure that they have good circulation. And
So that's at that point. Check the pulse.
yeah. Well, if they're breathing, they've got a pulse,
Right.
obviously. But then you start getting in your primary and secondary survey type stuff. So that's a little bit more advanced. But yeah, your ABCs, airway, breathing, circulation, is your first three things you want to do right away when you get on scene of a situation. Unless you were there and watched it all happen.
Because sometimes you come up on somebody and you don't know what's happened, and I know this from experience seeing it. They could be kind of wadded up and stuff. You don't necessarily want to start moving them around and shaking them around, because if it is has something to do with spinal injuries and stuff like that, you got to be careful at that point.
Yeah. Number one, if they're not breathing, you got to roll them over, because if they are not breathing, they're gonna die. So it doesn't matter how wadded up they are. First thing is get them so they can start breathing. If they have a compromised airway, and if they're not breathing and you can't get, that's not working, then you got to start doing CPR as quick as you can.
Yeah, good.
So, because they're going to die if you don't do that.
Right.
And
It's
so
just
don't.
there's a procedure based on what's the most mandatory thing to do right now. Everything else
ABCs.
is secondary.
That's what he was saying about the ABCs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then a lot of people like, oh, don't touch them, or you could injure them further. But hey, look, if they're not breathing, that's the number one thing. That person needs to be able to breathe in order to survive. So that's your first priority. And I'll set back. First is scene safety. You want to make sure that before you go in there, you're not going to get injured, and because if you're injured, in the course of doing that, then obviously that person's not going to get any help from you. The other thing is what kind of situation are they in? Is there, fuel all around them? Is there a fire? I don't know, what the scenario is,
Right.
but look that and they're like, oh, hey, look, they're getting ready to fall off a cliff.
Or-
get them out of, that area.
Or you're on the
somewhere safe.
backside of a hill during a race.
Right.
Stop.
What's more important?
Stop people
stopping
from
the
coming
traffic
first.
or trying to
Right.
deal
Yeah.
with him.
Yeah,
But
it's just all situational awareness, and me from doing this for so long. I really should. Hold on a second here, George. I'll fix this. I'll take over real quick. There we go. This is Jimmy Lewis. I used to be the host of this show. I realize how naive I've been in a lot of my years of racing. But becoming a certified motorcycle coach through USMCA, having to take the CPR classes, learning about a lot of different things with heat exhaustion and different stuff. This stuff, don't take it lightly. We joke around a lot on this show, but the reason we brought Larry on is because he understands this stuff. He's always on his A game. It's like no matter how much we're joking around when we're riding, he's out at the class and stuff like that. He's always got his eyes on to what's going on, and I totally appreciate that. And then every once in a while he'll say, hey, and then drop some knowledge about kits in the thing, just situational awareness about like, hey, this person is looking like they're, running a little hot, different things. So it's a training that some of us don't have, myself included. And then George, you have a little bit of this. Hold on, I'll put George.
Are you at all familiar, like when you become dehydrated? Can you speak at all to how your senses and everything sort of degrade as you become dehydrated?
I mean, I've seen it many of times, and it's different. And with folks out there that have difficulty, talking, they're just, they can't see as well. Their just level of conscious is diminished, and it takes a couple times you've seen that, and then you kind of pick up on it a lot quicker. And the general presentation of that person, I just look at them right away. I'm like, I could size them up and go, look, they're having a problem. Something's happening. They're reacting to something. So are they, exposed to, too much cold, heat? They could be having, not enough fluids on board. So,
I've heard some people talk about dehydration, and he seemed to kind of know what he was talking about. I don't know what kind of authority it was. But basically, by the time you think you're thirsty, a lot of your things have degraded quite a bit. Your decision making, and there's been a lot of things that have started to slow down, and you're just not processing and firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, and your body's starting to react, and it's starting to shut certain things down so it can focus, the body's resources, to keep you alive, keep you breathing, get that circulation going. It's trying to either cool you down or warm you up. And so, out here in the desert, you get both. You get heat and cold. And so, that's another thing is bringing the right thermal type of clothing with you. And, don't skimp on, cheap stuff. Buy the good stuff and just do your research on that. And before you go, get a size up, have a good plan, find out what the weather's doing and, dress and pack appropriately for that. So.
George, good time to throw in a plug for Climb Gear.
Climb Gear, yeah. No, and I've had a lot of Climb Gear, and not just, because they're a sponsor of your show before that. And I love my Climb Gear. They've got some really good vented stuff. My go-to if I'm traveling, for a long time in multiple weathers, I wear the name just escaped me. Climb's Big Adventure suit, the top and bottom. Somebody out there will know.
The Dakar one.
No, it's not the Dakar, because this is totally waterproof. All the zippers shut, but it's vented really well. It'll come to me later in the show, but yeah.
The Latitude?
No, good. No, I don't even know if you have that one.
Jim from the Peanut Gallery?
What's your jacket, Jim? The one you used to always wear?
Badlands?
Badlands. They're Badlands suit if I'm going somewhere. And I've been in places where it was, like from between 90 degrees and then up into the snow line and stuff like that. And that was just really good stuff. Wore it on my Harley when I rode a Harley. Along the medical stuff, I rode for a long time with a guy that was a diabetic undiagnosed. And he crashed a couple of bikes, one of them really serious. And right before he really got diagnosed, we kind of nobody really knew what was going on, but we looked back at it after we found out, and that's what it was. There were things like we get up in the morning, we're in a rush, he forgets his cell phone, he raced back to his house, he was going to catch up at our first gas stop. This was a road ride, and so he's all rushed, he's burning a lot of his, blood sugar out and everything, and he crashed a bike and wadded it up really good. And other times we saw him, he'd get goofy, and he made some other mistakes. He just failed to, comply and try and eat right. And he was trying to drink with the rest of us. And, it was just bad. But it pays to know a little bit about the people you ride with, because you might be confronted with that. Recognizing the signs of, a diabetic doing his things could save a life out there too.
Yeah, and Jim had a really good point earlier. Speaking with him is, and we're just trained as EMTs. Look for medical alert tags. They're usually on the wrist, around the neck with the chain, and then there might even be some information on the kind of jackets that you wear. Some motorcycle apparel companies actually put tags on there so you could put information in case there's an accident, and it's basically about you, who you are, age, any allergies, things like that, and medical conditions.
Hey, Larry, wasn't it really interesting how George was able to talk about that crazy friend of his that crashes all the time and does all the stupid stuff in the third person? Yeah, I found that really interesting.
Well, something else we discussed.
Good on you, George, to exemplify stuff that you're very experienced in.
Then the other thing we were talking about a little bit at dinner, and you weren't there, Jimmy, but you're certainly in my thoughts, was what if you have a good friend of yours that's, mortally injured, and they're asking to be put down along the side of the trail. And I don't mean, put down like I put you down when we're on the show, or
right.
You put me down.
Yeah.
And so we pose that to Larry.
Do we really have this
usually
discussion?
You can find a rock,
and I
or
wasn't
something
there.
heavy, and where do you hit somebody? How hard? How many times? Jim brought up, what if you become too fatigued to finish it? But anyway. What other questions?
Andrew McDaniel says, "Why didn't you call me for this one?" It's like we've got Captain Safety Larry here. Like we've got Larry, the best of the best.
Oh, so Victor's got something. Serious adventure riders and off-road. Look, Victor, what do I got right here?
Oh boy, you have your glasses
Off-road
handy?
tour guides organizers should learn. You need to shrink that. Learn how to do a field tube thoracostomy. That's actually common necessary. Look, Milwaukee, who's not a sponsor of my voice, but I think I could trach somebody with that if I had to. Always wanted to try it, just haven't had the opportunity yet. So let's ride soon, Victor.
Yeah, so Troy Hicks says he's talking about the Climb jacket. He says the one made from whale foreskin is the Badlands. It's insanely overbuilt.
It is. It's way overbuilt.
How does it feel to have the whale foreskins around you, George?
I don't know.
It's
warm.
Hey, we like to always talk about a lot of our sponsors. Hold up a sponsor product. Grab a sponsor product on the table. Scott goggles.
I wore Scott goggles with that. I got a question here.
The transition.
The transition lens is
right.
my go-to with these Scott. They're called, what are these? The Scott.
There's a lot of different ones. Prospect,
yeah, is what I have, and I have the transition lens. My question is, over time, are you aware if those transition lenses become less photoactive? Because I feel like mine's not darkening like it used to.
So I'll just tell you from my experience today, the sun wasn't as harsh. There was kind of like a little bit of a haze and cloud cover and stuff. So I'm going to say that might have affected it. But I think that over time, I'm pretty sure whatever that's going on inside of that lens, probably, it's a chemical reaction of some sort, and based on heat, or I don't know how it works.
So if we got any of those chemical engineers out there,
I could call up. I got a contact. I could call up somebody at Scott. Mm-hmm. But I tell you what, in my experience, I've never had a lens degrade before I scratched the crap out of it. You know what I mean? It was like generally. And how old is your lens?
It's a few years old.
Okay.
You know what? I have another one in my Climb helmet bag with all my other stuff that I haven't put on. And, the only reason I got the ones with the tear-offs is I was kind of cheap, and I thought, well, the tear-offs will protect the lens, but I don't put tear-offs on. And a racer, and I don't know if you agree with this, he asked me once, he says, George, you know how many tear-offs you put on? And I said, no, what do you put on for a race? Flat track guy, Chris Carr. He says, you keep putting them on till you can't see, and then you put one more. But,
I hate to sound like, cocky racer that thought, differently, but like, I'm going to be in front from the start, so why do I need these things? I was never that cocky, but I know a racer that pulled them all off on the start line because he said, I'm just going to hole shot and smoke everybody.
What about lap traffic?
By that time the mud's gone, scraped off the track, however it works. But
whatever.
So UV light, says Chris Volkler, photosensitive. So with that, but in order for it to be photosensitive, there's got to be some sort of was there a chemical reaction going on in there, or how does it? I mean, there's got to be something that's occurring inside of that lens I would think like anything, it has to be a wear item, but I don't know. This is beyond my scope of expertise. Ask me about pistons and suspension fluid and all that stuff. I got a good answer, but
How about a thermos?
a thermos?
Yeah, it keeps hot things hot and cold things cold, but how do it know?
Polymer changes orientation. Okay, so Chris, over molecule moves to block light. So Chris, this is interesting.
Speaking of the microphone there, would you, Jimmy?
Will that happen all the time? Oh, you're not hearing me that well in your headset
when
right
you
now.
turn?
This microphone is not the best one because the what do they call this person? The button monkey.
Larry's been worried about this, how the show was going to go for 3 days, and he wanted this like nice package presented to look well. And now he's just sitting over there going, "This is a shit show here." This is rated R, by the way, for language and mild nudity.
The button monkey. Hold on, I'm going to cover you guys up now that you just said that. That's really bad. So if you're looking for the Dirt Bike Test T-shirt, look at you can get there's your former host and there's the T-shirt right there. The button monkey over here is doing his best to kind of keep this show in order because that's what this guy does. Because I was looking at some other stuff.
Okay, Chris says the more it's used, the less active over time. Then it just flashes something. You guys are talking about tear-offs, but check out the overlays from... Why is this
Google
cut off?
Zone?
Brian England.
From Google Zone on Instagram. They work awesome for mud, dust, water, and even after swiping with my thumb
I wanna
for
hear
multiple
about
days.
this.
No real scratches, fits over my lens.
Is that like a screen protector? You get it on there right, and then you can just wipe it?
Goggle Zone, not Google Zone, by the way. But I
Can you
read it
fix
wrong.
this so I can read it, Mr. Producer?
No, I can't. That thing that you have there, I can't fix. That's on a whole
Okay, anyway,
different.
I'm sorry. I'll just read what I have in
thing.
front of me like Logan used to.
I-
That we got to look into that. You need to
oh,
test
you want
some of
Logan
that.
back because they said you didn't look like Logan. Or
I
Logan
want you
looks
to
older.
test some of that stuff. Get some of those, Jimmy.
Okay.
We need them.
I'll do my best. I'm only here to serve.
So
So
can we order a shirt?
a T-shirt? Okay,
Apparently.
hold on a second. The information I'm pasting it into the chat right now because the only way that the show's ever going to go on is if we only sell 10,000 T-shirts. I've set that number in my head, and right now we're at 12.
Oh, we got a plan here.
Where's the mail?
We got plans to boost Jimmy's
Oh, are you going to read the mail, George?
retirement thing. What?
I would start banging out the sponsors one more time right about now. You thank them from the bottom. Start thanking Double Take Mirrors.
Double take mirrors. I used a double take mirror this morning. On our ride today, I had double take mirrors on my bike. They're great.
Larry's Double Take Mirror is always standing erect on his bike.
Straight up and down.
Yeah, I fold mine down a lot. Mine like swing a little low, but Larry's is always up so you can see what's going on behind him. I'm not that scared about what's going on behind me.
You're talking about, Hoff over here doing the slow run on the beach. So of course he's going to be more erect than you.
God.
Bulletproof designs.
Now, who are you worried about more, Larry? The current host of this show, or this ding dong producer that didn't give you any prep?
George has got me worried, but I know where he's coming from.
Because
Okay.
we're both. Well, you might run for office. I'm not.
You
I
haven't
just
said
don't
anything
care.
yet on this show that I feel could be used against you, even in an election campaign, which is pretty good.
George and Logan should debate global warming. Yeah, you know what? Like you want to get into green energy and everything. I'm just so fed up. I'll talk about it.
Not on this show.
I'm trying really hard not to. Fasst Company. So I think, do I have a Fasst Company kickstand on my 300? They make a real good.
No, Trail Tech. But you don't have a Trail Tech
Okay.
kickstand. I believe you have a Pro Moto Billet kickstand.
On the 500, the 300, I got a Trail Tech.
Oh, Trail Tech. Right. Yeah, they're
Trail Tech.
upgraded.
So that's the next one, Trail Tech. DDC, I know I got DDC sprockets. I just looked at my sprockets because I neglect all that stuff pretty good. And my rear sprocket looked really good. I haven't looked at the front sprocket. But anyway, chain looked a little
Hey, Larry.
Warren.
How was the DDC sprocket on your bike?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And I know I have to give it back to you, but you're gonna have to help me take it back off.
Right. So we tuned Larry's bike up a little bit. He came with an ultra soft moose.
2 of them.
The front's
pretty
really
soft.
bad too.
Yeah, he heard it was talking to him the last couple of days. Jim and I told him, just switch. You bang it up, just switch it out with one laying around here. We do it all the time. Get it
Yeah, so
straight.
as much as you want to have Larry on your ride for his safety, you're a little concerned with his motorcycles. His motorcycles.
Concerned with him?
Yeah, a little concerned.
Bike was fine.
No, the bike was. I rode his bike. Is that a 350?
It's 350. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
350.
felt really good. I did notice. I think the forks are a little, twisted from a tweak. That and the clutch lever's up and the brake lever's down.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was more worried about when we.
I can't
rolled
reach
up-
them very well. That's my other
Well,
problem.
and that brake lever's adjustable, or the clutch lever, and it's way out there.
George,
we were messing
I
around with
wasn't
that.
going there.
Okay,
Good.
both of you guys hold up your hands to the screen, and you're going to see a sizable difference in. Oh, maybe not as bad as I thought. Sizable difference in hand size. Yeah, that's good.
No, we were talking about that because I looked at Larry. Larry's a pretty good sized guy. How tall are you?
6'1".
6'1", and he got kind of size 10 shoe. That's what I wear. So I don't know, small hands, small feet.
Yeah,
I don't know.
more dexterity.
Might have got shorted.
So, no, I was just worried about the
Makes it easier to clamp and pack though.
clamp and
Clamp and
And
pack.
have all that other stuff interfering.
That's a whole nother story.
Not like that other story I was telling at breakfast. Glad I didn't get hit with that.
Well, nobody knows what you're talking about at breakfast.
No, they don't.
So the Larry showed up with a moose that was substantially compromised, but probably awesome for super slow single track riding. Yeah, we call it an extreme enduro moose, and so we just swapped out a wheel, and now he's ready for his second set of wheels. Gonna get that bike all tuned up so he can go trail riding one day and
Yeah,
field
if you
sport
got
the
a
next.
used set of KTM wheels for sale, post them up.
I see those and they're pricey, like what people ask for their used sets are pretty pricey. The Supermoto guys. have
What's
those
Troy
things
Hicks
for sale.
say? Leaded what? Gas. George wants to sniff leaded gas. Okay.
Troy's not very nice. He's being mean.
Tony just ordered 2. What, the goggle things?
Goggle zones. Whatever. Whatever.
I'm gonna write
Brian-
that down because I'm not gonna look through this whole shit show again to find out what they were. Goggle zones.
Once you host it once, you're gonna be over the whole thing.
Oh, I
Keep
don't
talking.
know.
Remember.
I don't think I've been able to host it because you're just flapping your gums over there. So do we have any other questions up in the thing? You can roll it back.
No, we've kind of covered all the questions there. Why don't you start
Let's
hitting
go.
the questions on the
Funny,
chat.
I was just thinking of that.
Hey, so I don't know. Why don't we do a quick review? Because this is where the show turns to crap. Is when I get on the over there. Why don't we do a quick review? So it's the air. When somebody's
ABCs.
down, ABCs,
Airway, breathing,
airway, breathing, circulation. So that's where someone needs to start.
Circulation's your heart's beating.
Heart's beating. It's good. That's good to know. So airway, breathing, circulation in those orders. It would never hurt to take a CPR class for anybody.
I think it's a must. I mean, it's even sidewalk CPR. That's try to get that. That it takes like just a matter of minutes. You get a hold of your local fire department, ask about that, and basically that's a just chest compressions only. You just found somebody out there, you don't know who they are, and you're not going to lock lips on them and do breathing for them. But at least you can do compressions.
Me and George are out of that one. We want to go to the full lip lock.
Man, and it's funny because in my lifetime, I think it's switched. CPR switched 3 times, right?
Oh, and
Why do you
our
wanna do
careers,
it? 'Cause we weren't doing it
Yeah.
we weren't doing breathing for a while, right? Wasn't
Yeah.
there that middle window? They said, don't give breaths, you just do compressions. There's enough air going in and out of their lungs with the compressions, right?
yeah, it's changed quite a bit.
Yeah. So that's a good thing to do. maybe if you're going to be out remote or even at the track, just think if you're at the track and someone does have an injury, like one of our people in the chat said, they saved somebody at the motocross track because they had some of this stuff. They were able to, use the tourniquet, or I think it was the compression or the what'd you call the other thing?
Clot.
The
Quick clot.
Yeah, the clot thing. So you never know when just having these things handy, because if you don't have it, you don't have it. Whether it's training and or just the small piece of equipment that could really change the outcome of a day.
But and also check, because right not far below this neckline here, I have a tattoo that says DNR. So make sure you comply with it. Do not resuscitate. Okay.
What does that one in your butt cheek say again?
Made in America.
I don't think it
Easy,
was.
Larry. We're gonna have to cut you off the show right now.
Want to go into our my
Actually, if you want to sit off stage, you can help me with our tequila tasting segment that's going to come up next. But before that, we're going to go ahead.
So the other big important thing in there that doesn't take special training is, like you said, make sure it's safe and don't create more of a problem because you're parked in the middle of the roadway on the freeway or highway, or would you around a corner, where somebody's going to come barreling along. Those things I think are very, very important.
Would you call that secure the scene?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Scene safety and situational awareness. I think that just goes everywhere, when you're riding and then you have your situation, whatever it is, what caused it.
And I've seen so many bad plans put together in haste, where somebody puts something in motion, and as soon as that person's out of sight, you're, darn, we should have thought about that. So try and take that extra half a step breather before you really put your long-term get help plan in motion, or moving somebody or whatever. There might be a lot better plans.
Cool. Okay, tell everybody we're going to go on an ad break, George.
Already? Okay. We'll be back after this commercial.
The defending champion.
Do we have a hot mic,
Yamaha
Victor? Call me.
YZ450F.
Blankets.
Okay.
Check them.
Back up, Jimmy.
What's up, Moto Buddies? Mike here from Taco Moto Co. What is the Taco Touch? It's the best service in the industry. Virtually 24/7 tech support via email or text, and it's like having a dirt bike doctor on call every day of the year, helping you fix your bike or recommend parts or setups for you. If you've ever received an order from us, you'll know that the Taco Touch extends to our fulfillment, and our orders come with the coolest stickers that you've ever had, buying parts from anybody before, and a handful of root beer barrel candies. All of our Taco Moto Co. branded components come with a no questions asked lifetime warranty, and we'll even extend out the warranty of other manufacturers, OEM, and aftermarket parts where we can, sometimes for life. We test and tune endlessly and exhaustively and obsessively. We're trying to destroy everything that we can before you get your hands on it, to look for weaknesses and to improve it, or to make recommendations to the manufacturer. And if it's something that doesn't meet grade, then we don't offer it on the store. Everything that we carry is something that we have personally used, tested, and ridden, and raced, and knows meets the high Taco Touch demanding standard. Go out and get some adventure.
Okay, we're back. Hey, welcome back to the show. Your regular co-host, George, took my handcuffs off. I mean, it was fun for a little while, but it's really not going to work. I'm going to get my things here. I'm curious if you guys have any questions about that Trevor Hunter can answer, because I know he attracts a big audience to this show, and he's been out testing bikes and whatnot, and we could call him and figure out what's going on. I'm still trying to figure out how to push these buttons, but we do have some questions. Larry, thanks for coming in and give us some safety talks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I guess I owe you a Tech Talk Taco Tuesday T-shirt. Maybe it looks something like this. Yeah, right there. Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Larry. If you're looking for a Tech Talk Taco Tuesday T-shirt, they are available online. Check our Facebook's page or something. Look at the links on this show. Actually, I don't know if you can see when. I don't know how much you can see the chat. I don't think the chat comes unless you're watching it in sort of that live format. Not really sure how it works out, but anyways, like to thank Yamaha, Taco Moto, Scott Sports, Climb, DDC, Trail Tech kickstand, George. It was a Trail Tech kickstand. Fasst Company flex handlebars. How many people here have flex handlebars on their bikes? 3 of us. What? Larry, you're missing out.
I gotta go check.
Your wrists aren't that sore yet.
What? I don't have flex bar.
I don't
Oh,
know.
George doesn't have flex bars. Oh, yeah,
on the list.
You're a tough guy. And of course, double take mirrors. Hey, check out Jerry Bernard's book on Amazon. Speaking of Jerry, part of the club. Coffee brewed with a graveyard mist. I think we should do a reading from this maybe at the end of the show, to do a little reading from this. I'm not really sure, but maybe not. I mean, it's bad. You have some really awesome bad dreams. But Jerry, big fan of the show. So if you're wondering how we got the design on the Tech Talk Taco Tuesday T-shirt, it was with a lot of help from Jerry, and he wants to see this succeed, and that's why he's always helping us out with different logos and stuff. I wonder if I have our 200 logo. I wanted to put that up there. No, that's not it. And that's not it either. Okay, you're just going to have to pretend that you didn't see any of that. But I'm going to fix this whole show before we get going. But this is what we answer. This is where we answer your motorcycle and motorcycle product related questions. I have some questions coming to me. Larry decided he was going to read them off.
I don't have my glasses.
Oh, great. George, thanks for setting up Larry here for doing the questions. You gotta come in and help him out. He's like Logan never said that. Logan always made a valiant effort to read the questions, even if he had a hard time deciphering what you meant in your words that were spelled with letters and all that stuff.
Your camera out there.
Maybe.
Jerry Outridge show here. This is pretty funny.
That's okay.
Okay, James
George says
Frazier.
get the T-shirt. Look at that. Look at how that lined up. So perfect.
Good at it.
Okay, what's our first question, George?
Larry doesn't use glasses.
Hi, I have a 2014 YZ252 stroke with the Pro Circuit Works pipe installed. I'm deciding between the R304 Shorty silencer and the 304 factory silencer. Which silencer will give me more over rev and top end power? Over rev is by definition not power, right?
Yeah, over rev is when the power starts tapering. But over rev, like you don't want a sharp sign off. So this is a really good question. It's an interesting question. This mostly applies to two strokes. When we start talking specifically about mufflers, the two strokes are way more sensitive to mufflers than four strokes are. Although four strokes can be sensitive too, but since it actually closes the exhaust valve, it's not like you're dealing with a piston that with the open exhaust port is very sensitive to those both pressure waves and sound waves and all that stuff. So, in my experience, the shorter the muffler and the bigger the opening of the muffler, the more snap you get, the more violently the motor kind of like I don't want to say revs up, but where it kind of starts to function to where it gets into, we'll call it like peak, where things are starting to work. Like the pipe has a big influence on that, but generally the pipes are kind of similar, but the muffler can change that. You can tune it with the muffler. And so the shorter and the bigger the opening, the more kind of snap and bang you're going to get.
So less resistance, basically. It sounds like you're talking about
Yes.
for the exhaust to get out.
Yeah,
a sharper, quicker response.
It can hit harder. Sometimes it can delay it. It depends. There's a correlation between length and diameter, and the longer the diameter of the opening, and that actually starts way back at the. There we go. That starts way back at the stinger where the last cone ends. That's where the kind of the diameter thing starts. Larry. And then just small ones too. And you're pouring for me and George.
No,
and I'll drink his.
Yeah, he'll drink his.
Yeah. So, but that means I do small ones here on the show. So, but the length can kind of add to that diameter effect. So if you can have a bigger diameter and a longer muffler, and so it's combination.
And it'll choke it down more.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But not as much as going to smaller diameter. But anyway, so and the thing is that most people don't have the opportunities to try all these different things. It's just what's available. So when you look at what's available and you see it, so shorter means snappier, shorter means louder, shorter means also way less over rev or way more over rev. Because usually the shorter doesn't make as much peak power, in my experience. Or the peak power is sooner. Sometimes it can make more, but it's sooner. So if you're looking for more over rev and higher peak power, and this is a super slippery slope, you would want to go with the longer muffler, smaller diameter. And the smaller diameter increases the heat, and that makes the bike more prone to seizing and different bad things happening. So
Troy Hicks is wondering if length or girth is more desirable. And I guess we'd have to put that one back at you, Troy. What do you think?
For me, I like a lot of length with not much girth.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, look at it as just a snake, a muffler snake.
So
I want a long snake on my muffler.
Back to the true question. So
are these different? These two, Larry?
So basically,
you need to hand me the bottle so I can explain what they are on
Don
the show.
Cayo. Looks like a Don Cayo.
I didn't even see. Well, that's there. That's one of them. But I'll try to let you know.
So if I'm summarizing what Jimmy thinks is for that top end, maybe the shorter silencer.
No,
rather than the factory one. He wants to know.
Well, he has the
deciding between the R304 shorty silencer and the 304 factory silencer.
Yeah, so the 304, not the shorty. If you want more over rev, don't go with the shorty.
Oh, that's different than what I was getting out of that.
Like more over rev, generally longer muffler. I mean, you can with a shorty, you can get way more over rev, but it's way flatter for way longer. It's too much. Like shorties, like just they have a real sharp peak. And where longer mufflers have a more rounded peak, like the horsepower curve goes up, and then we call it sign off. A shorty has sign off, where a longer muffler has more over rev. Hopefully that helps. I
could so derail this conversation, but no, I won't.
Okay, because it was factual knowledge based on years.
Hopefully,
and years of
Jamie Frazier is in, and if that didn't If that didn't answer your question, you got follow-up posted up there.
I think we have another muffler question.
Max Flight 777. Love you guys! Exclamation point. Great. Jade at JDM 1200.
This one's 3 R's.
Hey Jimmy, thanks for all you do for the moto community. I'm sure you've heard that Kref Moto just shut down. I saw that on there the other day. Bad luck for me as I was about to send my suspension in for service. Kref Moto, do you have any inside scoop on that?
So no, I don't.
And how long have they been around?
They've been around for a while.
It seems like I've only heard about them a couple years.
Okay, so they have a strong following in the Pacific Northwest. Definitely more. They're Bend, Oregon based, and I don't know. I mean, I just kind of saw that, and some people said, oh, it was a rumor and all this other stuff. But I do know that this same guy that was running that was also responsible for a very successful downhill mountain bike, kind of moose-like thing. It's like a
Somebody said that it's a liner for a
like
mountain bike
Cush
tire.
Core or
I saw
something.
that on
Yeah.
the Facebook.
So I knew they made these also, and I just suspect that is a much better business to be in. I mean, the suspension modification slash tuning business is a very personalized business, and I think when you go from where they were kind of like local and regional to actually getting a lot bigger, and they had a lot of really trick components. We tested some of them. The stuff was good. The test speaks to itself, but now it doesn't speak to anybody because you can't get it done, evidently. They made some good things and had some good designs, and I bet you that and they weren't cheap. It wasn't inexpensive. I don't want to call it cheap. I'll bet you when you start getting to that thing, I mean, you have to have a few different employees there. You have to have some really smart people making these parts, and then you got to be able to sell it. And the suspension these days is very, very good. And to improve upon it,
the factory stuff that's just coming out.
Yeah. The factory stuff that's coming out, or it's like, why am I going to send it to I don't know. I'm speculating here, but so I have a guy, George, at ESP Suspension. He's in Pasadena, California. You might know him.
Yeah, just got a shock back. Let me read this first.
Okay.
So the last part on the second page of this JDM 1200 was, since Kreft has their own specific valving, revalve control for the WP Explorer fork, who would you recommend servicing the forks now? Thanks in advance.
Okay, so I'm not going to just go straight to George. And I mean, I would send my
That's
stuff
the
to
Georgia shock guy at
I would
ESP.
George has seen the Kreft stuff. He's worked on different Kreft things before. We talked about different things and why they do what they do and how they do it. Because, in all honesty,
did you just say you weren't going to go back to George, or are you still going to George?
I go to George because I just send him my stuff, and he knows me, he knows my settings, he knows how to make it work, and we test stuff together. Like, I'll send him something, and like last time I bought.
You just won't pay for it, because when I sent my shock in, I said Jimmy might pick it up. He goes, "Oh, good, Jimmy owes me money."
Well, what he means by I won't pay for it is I haven't sent him the check. I pay him to do my suspension work. Every once in a while he'll do me a good, and I haven't sold him just yet on this show. He's been on the show before.
Yeah, no, I know.
When I go, hey, tell George Tech Talk Taco Tuesday said it's going to give you 50% off on ESP suspension work. By the way, let me say that again so that it picks up. Tech Talk Taco Tuesday said George at ESP is going to give you 50% off on suspension work. And somebody's going to hear this, and they're going to call up George at ESP and say, Tech Talk Taco Tuesday said you're going to get 50% off on suspension work. And now George is so pissed off at me because he's going to get calls from somebody who heard that one section of the show. And then I'm going to say, hey, George, I have no influence on these people. They're doing what they want to do. I don't know where they
We have no promise to the viewers that any of this is true.
So anyways, you're if he gives you a discount because I said that, you need to call me up and give me a discount on something.
There you go. And I look at it different. These are all small businesses. Don't,
right. So
don't push them for big discounts.
So back to the original point. Yeah, if you have Kreft stuff with a revalve control, a good suspension guy will understand exactly what that is. Because if you don't turn the knob on your suspension control, it's just like you have a fixed mid speed valve. And if yours is in the middle and you send it to a guy, I mean, hopefully your Kreft stuff is so good the way it is, just get it serviced. But if you want it altered in a certain way, send it back the way you were riding it. In other words, if you're riding with the revalve control maxed out and your low speed compression unscrewed all the way, a good suspension tuner will say, hey, is that where you had it? Yes. And they would know how to change a couple things here and there to get it back to the middle. So just because they have some stuff in there, and that revalve control does work. I was pretty impressed with what it could do. I found that once I found my happy spot, I didn't necessarily want to change it all that much, which is kind of normal with me for suspension in general, other than when I do stuff with PDS shocks, which they did a lot of work on my PDS shock, and it went back and forth with them a couple times because the way I wanted it to work wasn't kind of, I'll say, along with their philosophy.
With Crefts.
Crefts. And that's where, like, when I work with George, he knows exactly what my ideal feeling is. Like, I want something that's really progressive and ridiculously progressive at the end of the stroke. I like PDS, but it has to be set up in a certain way. KTM does a really good job with it, but it's not to say that it can't be improved. And especially for an individual, if you know what you want, but if you just send your suspension off to anybody and you just say make it better, send it to me. Like, send it to Jimmy at Dirt Bike Test. Just email it to me, and I will send it back to you. Of course, you have to pay me a certain amount, and I'll send you a sticker that you can put on it, and the suspension will be better. I guarantee it. What
That's
were we
a joke.
talking about?
No, well, it's a truth, but
It is the truth.
It's the truth, but yeah,
You
don't
have,
want to.
you have to have a direction. When we start talking about suspension and stuff like that, you have to have a direction that you want to go. And like I say, they spend a lot of time making the stock suspension good for the quote average person. You're probably more average than you think in a lot of ways. Even if your weight varies a little bit or what your riding ability is. Like, trust me, they have a lot of people, probably someone just like you that rode that bike at some point during development, and they got to that point where this is what standard is. Yeah, sometimes they use, there's some cost cutting in there. I think the air forks are probably the best example of cost cutting, and I'm still a big fan of air forks. Although the best forks are not air forks.
One of the big takeaways I got from being around you was, don't be afraid to play with that stuff. It's not undoable. Crank them all the way on, crank them all the way off, and see what it does and play around. You might surprise yourself. What did Brian say about Kraft up there? I can't read it because you refused to let me have
a couple
the whole
hours ago, the decision is 100% on the owner, not health, not legal, nothing else. They're working on other suspension guys to make sure their stuff continues to be serviced. I think the guess about the Cushcore mountain bike tire is probably good, easier, more profitable. Yeah, I don't know.
That's kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the two-wheel drive guys, right? They're kind of
like
spending
Christine.
efforts other places.
When you can sell mountain bikes like they're going out of style, you don't spend a lot of time investing in motorcycle stuff, or or fighting the motorcycle industry that's waiting for your patents to run out, or trying to figure out a better way to do it when nobody's found it yet. There might be. Man,
Let me read it.
You people are missing out on all-wheel drive adventure bikes. Just look at the video. I know this guy, like Jim over here, shot that awesome video of me riding the adventure bike. Remember that? You were standing
The better
there
shot
watching.
would have been when I discovered that move and did it first, because I just put both my feet straight up on the pegs and then put the throttle, and you just couldn't help yourself. You gave that little bit of push off in that.
Oh,
That little bit, you really did. Just
In the video?
instinctively, and I don't have those
yeah,
instincts.
okay.
But anyway,
Well, your legs aren't
over
long enough.
how many? Yeah, no.
How
If
many
I
views
push
are on that?
off,
How many views are on that video? Hey, if you're watching this, go search all-wheel drive adventure bike and watch that
There
video.
you go. Know that George shot that on an iPhone 8 or something.
I don't know.
Back then, but
It
yeah,
doesn't matter.
That's pretty amazing. And there's another one that
making
slipped
me-
by.
it's
if
making
that
me
one would have
millions-
been
it's
set up to monetize that one.
It's making me millions
Can you
of dollars
imagine?
on YouTube. I'm like Mr. Whatever, Mr. YouTube or how.
Can you
whatever that guy's
imagine
name
what
is.
you'd have after all that?
If I would have monetized it when it first came out?
Just remember, it all started when you got Insta.
Who's going to watch a 30-second
contacts.
video to watch a 27-second video?
Let's go over a couple more of these. I'm going to read the comment and then go back as to who said it.
The Countershock guy says he's going to call. Actually, the Countershock, I need to call you, the Countershocks guy, because remember we tried to put the Countershock on the Tenere, and the clamps are wrong.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Who was there? Oh, Jim was there.
Jim's running it still, aren't you?
No, I
came
stole
up?
it back. No, I stole it and took
Okay.
it. Trevor has it now. Countershock currently in extreme testing here at Dirt Bike Test.
So we talked a lot about the Countershock and different marketing ideas he may want to hear about that we have for it, like the forward back one. Anyway.
Oh, forward back Countershocks?
Yeah,
Take the twitchiness.
like a
Out of the throttle.
yeah. Put like a big one that runs forward and back on the bike. Keep you
Oh,
from jumping
boy.
around. What do you think of
Yeah.
that, Jim?
No.
Hey, so somebody wrote in, your videos always make me feel inspired. And so who sent that in? At Buy YouTube Views 960.
Buy YouTube views.
Yeah.
960. Okay.
I wonder what that is. That's just a loyal listener,
Actually,
right?
I wanted to put. There's one more email that I did not put on your question read sheet tonight that I wish I would have put on there, but reminds me. No, that's what you say. You know, it could have been on any video, anything. Our videos make you feel inspire you.
Great. Hey,
I'm inspired. I'm inspired by that inspiring comment, and I think in these times
Okay.
that's important.
pick up your glass and I'll get through a few more. It says, very good to know. Thanks from Dave and Stangerlin. Okay, great to know.
Well, so that's
what
the
was
thing
very
about our,
good to know. A little context
It
here.
could that one could be on any
Everything.
of our videos.
Yeah.
Any of them.
Just clamp and pack, baby.
That's right. Like this video.
This is the clamp and pack episode right here. Clamp and pack, you could save a life.
I was hoping that you would have got a little deeper into that clamp and pack, but it's okay.
It's R-rated. You know, there's mild nudity. It's not X.
You want to know? I have a photo right here. I'm going to hold it up in front of the screen here.
Just don't hold it in front of my gold medal behind
It's
you.
a picture of me on a Husaberg. That's me in a Husaberg, and you know what I'm doing right there?
About to fall off.
No, clamping and packing.
Oh,
Yeah, because like when you're on a Husaberg, George,
there you go.
like, do you know how much power one of these things has?
Tip that thing up to where it really was oriented to Earth.
Oh, like this? Like when that's how it's
Yeah, there
really
you
going
go.
down the hill?
There you go. We went down something like that, huh? It had a face that dropped off.
Yeah, so I have a picture.
Did that surprise you a little when we dropped over there and it got a little?
Picture of me on a Husaberg, clamping and packing.
Did you let go of the bars then? Yeah.
Something we try not to talk about too much about on this show. Gives you
Cruising
all the-
7749 fans might have to upgrade from my 2020.
Okay, George, I just got a notification on my phone. Somebody just bought a Tech Talk Taco Tuesday T-shirt.
Ping, 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 that
Oh,
baby.
yeah, hold on. That's almost as good as riding a Husaberg.
You know, it's like the telethon when somebody,
for
puts,
that, I'm going to put a Tech Talk Taco Tuesday T-shirt on George.
Yeah. Hey, Jimmy.
Somebody just bought one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, super good times.
Now,
Okay,
now
thank
he's
you,
on.
everybody.
Now he's only down $1,299.98 on that whole investment.
Right. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to lose a lot of money on this. And I tell you some
You're
other
good
things.
at that, though. You know, everybody should excel at something, and you excel at bad money. You know, repelling or whatever. You repel money.
Speaking of that,
You know, you don't half-ass it. It's that race mentality. You go all in.
the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame is happening in January again. You going to go?
I don't know. I got to get a date.
Okay, we're gonna go. We're gonna go to
And
the
then-
Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. I hope I didn't schedule a school on top of that, but we'll go anyways. We'll drive into Vegas. We're gonna go there, hang out, meet some legends that are getting inducted. I don't know how I got in that thing. I think it was by mistake. They thought I was a good podcast host, and they found out I used to race motorcycles, and I got in. It's because I have 4 gold medals, George.
Well,
not
if you
one.
don't know, yeah. So it's what's the business called where they do that? That's Gene Woods.
Gene Woods Racing Experience.
Racing Experience.
It's in Fremont Street in Vegas.
In fact, if you look right back up here, there's a Racing Experience winner medal.
Hey, this
that's
is
hanging
actually,
somewhere around.
This is
these
actually
smaller
Gene
medals.
Woods right here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's
wow.
Gene Woods on a speedway bike.
Speedway.
Yeah, so
Yeah, no, we got to go over there and just do go karts again. I
We'll
was
start-
hoping these guys would be around longer and we could go over there.
Oh,
and
wait
do
a minute.
go-karts.
You're not leaving till 1, right?
No, I fly out at 1:30.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe I don't know what time they open. Maybe we can make it beforehand. Then you can drop me off on my mountain bike. I go kill myself.
Might have to upgrade from his 2012 what? Do you have any idea? Cruising 7749?
Yeah, he's talking about a Yamaha WR450, of course.
Okay.
It's hard for you to know this because I was running short on
You don't.
time
Yeah,
here.
you never
on the-
put any context in these.
Well, I used to, but then it took extra effort, and I don't really want to get into that. But the back to this whole premise of the show starting out the way it did. Like you told me, and I quote, "Why don't you sit over there and push the buttons, and I'll handle the rest."
Yeah.
Got off to a little slow start. How did he do? Did he pick it up? He took
Well, you
control?
kept interrupting me. You
Oh,
didn't
no,
just push a button.
You're gonna have to review this.
Anyway,
Yeah. But I was over here, you were trying to lure me away from my hard work, and I was over here diligently producing.
this is
the
all
show.
just it's a very
It's
scripted.
hearsay. How do you think you got a T-shirt on right now that you can't even control? That was me. Yeah. And I can even go to mine and I can put a T-shirt on me too. Look at that. Look at
There you go.
How cool is that? Like, I do things here. Yeah, I'm way better of that button monkey pushing than
Yeah, we were out riding and shooting shotguns, and you were in here in front of your computer
tax
screen,
forms,
Jimmy.
insurance.
You love that.
Trust.
Yep.
If people were nicer to me, you know how many motorcycles I have? I could just put your name next to it, and then it could just go away when I die.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of motorcycles out there that are
They're that valuable.
yeah.
Got some
somebody wants.
Husabergs.
So let's read another one. Your vlog has been such a source of comfort and inspiration for me, especially during this past year. I appreciate how honest and vulnerable you are in sharing your experiences, both the highs and the lows. Watching your vlog feels like catching up with an old friend, and I always come away feeling more connected to the world around
George,
me.
slow down. Can we? I wish I could put some stripper music on, but I want to start taking my
Some
clothes off right now.
saxophone.
Saxophone?
Sax music.
Okay, hold on.
Thank
Start
you for
taking my
being a
clothes off.
bright spot in my day. Again, from at you. Oh, I thought you're.
I'm really gonna undress.
Got your I thought you were gonna wear that sexy man hot weather a chirby shirt or
I
whatever.
just want to show you the Tech Talk Taco Tuesday shirt. It's making me feel good. This.
Anyway, so this is another buy YouTube views at 405. Wow.
I didn't spend that
Bots.
much to buy YouTube
Bots.
videos.
Redball 4093, good stuff. Thank you. Kubra at Kubra CT6T7.
Okay, so that one was not a buy YouTube videos. That was just honest goodness. Like, he liked our video. Probably one
Okay,
of my videos
yeah.
that I produced, not one of Trevor's, but mine.
And then Kubra at Kubra CT6T7. It's Chinese characters. So not only have they bought property around all our Air Force bases, set up labs over here and all that, they've invaded Tech Talk Taco Tuesday.
And so have you.
It's
as,
time for America to step up and say we've had enough. So
Well,
all the
you-
viewers out there,
you could-
let's change everything.
I thought you could read that. Like anybody named George is Chinese, right?
No. You want
George
You want me to get into my
George?
how I want to be addressed and what my bloodlines are, Jimmy, on this show? I don't think we should
Okay,
do
good.
that.
We'll just skip to the next.
Okay, at Devin Orr 5 days ago, IMS makes a 2.8 gallon fuel tank. Oh, thanks. Good to know, I guess. Did we know that?
It's already on the bike.
Yeah.
We knew that. I don't know. Have I done the modifications video on that one yet?
Is that the 450?
The WR450, the one that you rode, the one you liked.
In the stock form, is it like that other bike we were riding that it has a seat pad that clips over the top of that spot?
No. So the interesting thing about the WR450 is that we run the IMS tank, and Seat Concepts makes a seat. They used to be a sponsor on the show, but no longer. But it doesn't mean we don't continue to talk about them
Or buy their stuff.
We still buy the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have a seat that actually mates up to that gas tank, because that gas tank, since it's larger capacity, you lose that little bit of seat foam. But my junk isn't that big where it gets in the way. I'm going to keep it protected. But yeah, so you got a bigger gas tank, and we have a seat on that bike, and I'm pretty sure I've done a video on that. That's the modifications video. So maybe he'll get there. Maybe, hopefully YouTube's, since we're on YouTube's right now. Hey, YouTube's, recommend that video to that dude. Yeah, because that's the way this stuff works. But yeah, we're working on making that bike better. How did you like that bike, by the way?
The 450, the
450.
other ones I liked. I just didn't like the throttle response
Yeah.
on the other bikes. I mean, that's fine with that.
Did you notice how the
The 450, I think's changed a little since you did it. Why did you always keep putting in blue mode? Every time I got back on it, it was in the blue.
Because I can turn the throttle farther. I've got two different maps in there, and the map that's in the non-blue mode. So hey, Yamaha, sponsor this show, but pioneers in the online app power tuning thing. You can just go on your phone. Like, I can go right here, and if this were my phone, which it is, and I slide through here, and I go right here, Yamaha power tuning app. I can talk to my WR. Well, not really from here. It's a little bit far away, but I could talk to it. I can make the blue mode whatever you want, or
Right.
the on-off button. So, kind of a cool app, by the way. So the blue mode is a like I'll call it a more tame map.
Right.
But it's tame until about 3/4 throttle, and then it goes from mild to wild.
Okay, because I don't use that part of it.
Yeah. And so it just makes it more rideable on the bottom part, where for me right now, the map I have on the regular map is a little bit too aggressive. So I need to go back in kind of like that and send it to it, and then I can fix it. But that's a cool thing. That's free, by the way, with any Yamaha YZ FX or
What was the Yamaha
WR with
250?
competition.
What was the
ECU.
250 I rode the first day?
Messed up.
But what was it?
A WR 250 with a competition ECU.
So yeah, it on the top of that bike, the top end of that bike, the throttle was good,
Yes.
but the bottom end I didn't like at all.
The bottom end's probably okay. It's the mid range. Because 250F, like
I
that's the thing is
consider that
they
bottom.
rev pretty quick. You don't really ride it on the bottom too much. But again, I have remapped that ignition, and it's not right. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that straight up.
Speakeasy too.
We're working on it too.
At
But
Speakeasy.
we're working on. I need to get a.
I know you're working
I
on
need
it.
to get the right muffler, and it takes time. But I have to pay taxes and
I know.
promote my sponsors and make
Plan
sure
for
that-
your demise and all that.
Yeah.
At
Learn how to not
Speakeasy
make
too.
money.
Hi Jimmy, like your podcast. Just a question about the Scott goggles. Do any of their models work well with the Aria
crap.
XD4?
Arai.
But he said Aria.
Aria. Or I don't know.
I think it's ARAI, right?
Okay, so
Arai.
when I was prepping for the show and trying to get everything going, 'cause there's a lot of
XD4
stuff,
is their adventure helmet. I got
the
a
adventure
couple of
helmet.
them.
I was gonna actually go into the gear room over here, and I was gonna grab one of those. And when you asked that question, I was gonna put it on and show you that it would fit in just fine.
But they do fit.
Yeah, they do fit. I'm not a big fan of wearing the goggles when I have the visor. The helmets with the visor. I just wear my glasses, and I have some pretty good glasses that do a good job of deflecting the dust.
Helmet
You'll
with
never
this
do it.
visor
Yeah,
or the flip down,
So it has the visor, but the shield.
the shield.
Yeah,
You
so
don't
like-
want goggles with a shield. No.
Right.
Of course not.
Yeah, but a lot of people do this.
But you can take it off. But wear both?
Yeah, they have goggles. They have goggles, and they'll like take the goggles off. I don't know where they put them. Maybe they have a really nice climb backpack. I did that. Climb backpack.
Yeah.
So they have a really nice climb backpack. Especially the cool thing about that climb backpack that Larry brought onto the show. That top pouch. Where's that sucker right over here?
That I
Not
think is
only-
the
not
big
only-
one.
No, that's not the big. They have a bigger one. I know this. I have the bigger.
Because the old one I got, it's a lot smaller.
So we're having this, and you can always, if you're good at delivering, you can always bring a little bit of tequila. So the thing, this pouch right here on this climb backpack, when you open it up, and I don't know,
It's a
what Larry
goggle
has in
pouch,
here.
right?
Oh, it's. Hey, wait, Larry, do you have a visor helmet?
I do.
So
But he's got
Larry's
goggles.
the guy. So it has goggles in here. Amazing. So he has his goggles in here. Goggles, glasses, little goggle bag. But anyways, so he has his goggles in the bag, which is good to protect the lens. But the good thing about this climb thing, so it's soft up here. This one's different than mine.
And it's got a chamois. Show me the chamois.
Yeah, so it has the thing to clean your goggle lens in there. But on the one that I have, this package is
It's hard.
all soft.
Oh.
No, it's got the soft interior, and so you can. Just,
Oh, yeah.
you
It's
can
a,
just-
it's a material that
yeah,
is
you can
conducive
just-
not scratching
you
up
can
the
just- You can
lens.
just drop your goggles
Right.
in there and not scratch it. So if you are
But
doing,
these are also kind of hard so you don't smash your goggles. This has got some,
yeah, it's got some stiffness to it.
yeah.
Larry, I don't know if I can pack this thing
So-
back in there because
Don't worry about it. Put it down.
that stuff almost
So
jumped out.
back to the XD4. I have a couple of those over the years. I haven't worn it recently. I've been wearing my Climb Adventure helmet, but the XD4, I had people were complaining about this. What is it? Harmonic? What do they call it? Buffeting that the visor would
Visor.
do at a certain wind speed at a certain thing. I remember I was going somewhere on my 950 and I had one. And if you touch that thing, it would stop, but it was vibrating. So my fix was I pulled over actually in Tonopah and went to a Napa parts store. I got a little 1/4-inch gas line, like 6 inches of it. I split it with a razor down one side, and I just put that over the edge of that, and that allowed enough stiffness to not do that buffing.
The actual visor was
The
flexing.
visor's just flapping around and getting
Interesting.
hit in the right way. So that was my fix.
But I've
Since it's
also
a-
found that
Tech Talk show.
all this, it's Tech Talk. No, it's good. So you're just actually, instead of having a sharp edge, you're having a more rounded edge.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it was the aerodynamics of the edge or just the stiffness that the hose provided being on there, to stiffen up that thin visor a little so it wouldn't flap around.
So I don't ever blame myself for anything. You've noticed this before?
Oh no,
'Cause
really?
as a rider of perfect stature, I'm a little heavy on the front right now. I got a lot of my low CG on the front of my body is a big problem for me. But I would play around more with either where my seating position is or my windshield at that point.
Yeah, to get out of that particular wind area. Yeah,
because if it's me on my bike with my gear, I want my bike to fix me. I want to be able to I don't want to have to fix my gear to fix my bike. I don't know how
yeah. I thought 6
explain.
inches of gas hose was a quick, easier fix than buying a windshield or taking a Sawzall to it to cut it down an inch.
Isn't yours adjustable a little bit?
On the 950, I don't think it was.
Oh, okay. This
This was on my own 950.
Yeah, on certain bikes they're adjustable, and other one,
But I got to tell you, on my 790, I got a wind issue.
Have you tried putting the hose on the top of the
No, I didn't try that. But
Yeah.
that could change.
change too? So, anyways, this is
And it also, but here's what I remember too. Now that I think about it, it also was doing stuff when I'd get like crosswinds and things like that
Right.
would come in and make it vibrate. So I went straight to the source
okay.
of that. So
That makes sense. Yeah. So you're sitting here listening to two guys discuss a kind of common problem, which is buffeting on adventure bikes and different things, and how we would attack the problem. I'm not, and I didn't write. I should have attacked you and told you how stupid that was, that you should do it my way.
okay,
and then you should tell me that
I
I'm
can
an
be
idiot, too.
attacked. I'd like for the listeners out there just to put up one short example, if they can think of it, of some clever little thing they fixed on the trail or whatever. Some of you guys listening, something you thought of.
It might spur an
Just some
interesting
little
discussion.
thing. We've all heard those stories about.
Or you can have an awesome Tech Talk Taco Tuesday T-shirt. Are you sick of this? Hearing this yet? Because look, George just got one. Yeah, look, George got a Tech Talk. Look at you. Look a little better than me though in that shirt.
Well, I look a little better than you,
Lucky you
period.
can't
It's
see
a curse.
right below here.
It's a curse.
Okay. Next question.
Scott, that was okay. At Melissa Ward 2720, it might just be me, but I've never been riding a dirt bike and thought, you know what, this could use traction control. Okay, so she's saying a dirt bike could use traction control, and guess what?
Well, that's some dude using his wife's YouTube account, I'm pretty sure. And I think we got this one in the last show, but yeah. Have you ever been riding a bike and thought it could use traction control?
Have I thought I could use traction
Yeah, so
control?
you're riding a bike and read the question one more time.
It might just be me, but I've never been riding a dirt bike. I've never been riding a dirt bike and thought, I understand the question, and thought, you know what, this could use traction control. So this person's saying they've never ridden and thought they needed it or could use it.
Right, it never occurred to them.
It never, right.
Or
right.
you're just riding along and you're doing stuff and you go, man, I wish I had traction control.
Yeah.
So this question was on last week's show. I think it was kind of at the end, but I wanted to touch on this. That's why I threw it back in there. I totally agree. I don't think I've ever ridden a bike and said, I wish I had traction control. And because when I'm riding, my wrist turns both ways. And I'm very keen to what my rear tire is doing, like spinning or not. And some people aren't. And this is the interesting conundrum we're getting into, and whether we're going to talk about ABS or traction control or different things, stability control and vehicles and all this stuff. They're making they're putting features on vehicles that are designed for safety and for whatever reason I don't know. But on motocross bikes, for instance, because we grew up with bikes like anybody ever ridden a TM400? Ever ridden a Suzuki TM400? Dating myself. Yeah.
Is it an old 2-stroke?
Yeah, old 2-stroke. Maybe, and I'll just step a few generations up, like a Husaberg 650.
I've ridden one.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you ever think that thing needs traction control?
No.
Every last second you turn the throttle one bit, it needs it because it's going to spin.
So
you know how powerful that thing was, right? Did you ever get to the end of the throttle?
yeah, actually, I did it. It kind of peaks pretty quick. Real torquey. There's no point in going way wide open. I didn't think.
Yeah,
the
because
the
how
low is the
you were getting
wah,
up to about like 8 or 9 o'clock, and you didn't want to go to 12. What the hell?
No, I don't get up to 8 or 9 o'clock. I'm asleep at 3:30.
Right. So, but we've kind of older guys. We're used to controlling the throttle. Like if I turn the throttle and it starts spinning, and I don't want it to spin, I back it off. And if I turn the throttle and it spins and I want more, I turn it more. I use it. And the problem is when I'm on a bike that has traction control, if I turn the throttle and it does what it does, and there's two different kinds of. Let's talk about that Honda. Oh, the peanut gallery just woke up. Yeah. So the Honda Transalp has 4 or 5, I don't know, levels of traction control. I don't know because
I didn't understand it. There were a bunch of little circles with little dials.
It's got an instrument cluster on it. That the good thing is at least they tell you when you learn which button. When you're looking at the screen, it tells you which button to push to get what you want to. The old one didn't have that, and God help me on the Africa Twin if I could figure out. Hey, Victor, you know this. If I could figure out which button to push to get what I really wanted out of that motorcycle. But so traction control on that one is done by rev cut. So it starts introducing a rev limiter or a spark kill, like every 4th RPM, every second, whatever it is. It goes bub bub bub, it does that. Where on some of the more modern bikes that use fly-by-wire, they actually adjust the butterfly valves for you. Both of them for me have the same effect, but boy is the rev cut one horrible to me. And I think we all would agree.
What's my 790 have?
Butterfly valves. So you turn the throttle and it says no, you don't, and it doesn't open it up. So it's like you turn it and it just goes. It won't keep opening it. Where the rev cut one, you turn it and the butterfly valves go open and it just goes boop 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 boop, and it kills the ignition. Which is the problem is sometimes I want to spin it up to make it do something, and then it starts rev cutting, and then we start getting into a fight. Right.
No, I get that, but I still think there's kind of some. I'm not as just a hater, I guess, of it, and I played with it when I first got my 790. Now I kind of just leave it in that rally,
which is very limited, if any, traction control.
Just do it, but. It also was kind of cool because, like you say, the Recluse taught you how to use that very, very low RPM.
Because you didn't trust yourself to be that
jumping
good on
around
the
clutch
to
or whatever.
use that low RPM, and the Recluse told you where all that power was.
So with this traction control on my 790, I remember the first time I was really using it, Jim and I were riding around St. George, just on 2-track roads and gravel roads and stuff, and I put it in a whatever it was. I don't know if it's a 1 or 10 or whatever. But the traction control was very aggressive. It was using a lot of it, and I was surprised at how quickly it could accelerate me over changing terrains and stuff. Right. You know what I mean?
Well,
and that was where if I was doing it,
how you did this.
How I did it?
How did you do it?
I put it on that mode and I whacked the throttle and I held it and it went, it took off.
You turned your brain off and let the machine take over.
Exactly. So
welcome to the future, everybody.
So myself, I probably would have spun a lot more under those same circumstances. Right. Trying to catch up and find it, with my terrain reading and ability and everything. I would have spun up a lot more and probably not accelerated as quick is that traction control.
This is interesting. In a lot of the testing that I've done in different things, I've done a lot of stuff with ABS, like ABS versus human.
Well, I poo-pooed ABS a lot in the
Right.
beginning on the street bikes because it didn't work well.
Right, and it's gotten way better. It's crazy now how good it is. It really is. But it's hard to beat ABS. And I still, like, when a new bike comes out and it's another evolution of ABS systems, I actually go out and I try it, and I do some braking drills that I know how to do, and I see if I can beat ABS. Just be an idiot and just slam on the brakes and let it do its work, because you're not going to crash unless you do something really stupid with ABS. It'll prevent you from crashing. You just ham fist the brakes, and then I go and do it like I would if I were on a motocross bike, for instance, with no things, and I see if I can beat it. And most of the time, I can still beat it by a small margin, but I can.
Because
Traction control, I've not done this kind of a test on it yet.
Yeah.
haven't really taken the time to go out and do this, or I've not been asked to go out and
have a drag race on some compromised surface and turn it off on one and put it.
Yeah, it'd be that's a really interesting one, and you could make all different kinds of tests. I'm sure you could figure out a test where no matter what the human can beat it, and I figure you could make a test that no matter what the traction control would work out. But it's kind of interesting kind of stuff that you can learn about. And yeah, so that's our discussion on how the computers are going to take over the world, George.
Okay, so
Chinese computers, by the way, because I'm pretty sure most of those chips are designed in the place where that symbol was made that you couldn't read.
Rider 65 denying counter steering! Exclamation point. Face green but smiling. Bunch of hacks. Is Rider 65 on? I'd like to have discussion back and forth on this guy. Call in. Let's talk about it. I want to hear something.
He won't call in. He has a couple videos of him like riding around on a mountain bike or something with like 65 views. So thought I'd encourage his participation in this.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about
open dialogue,
counter steering and stuff.
Hey, if you're wondering where Roosterendo has gone, you have to go to tacomoto.co. You go to tacomoto.co, order a couple products, and say, I would have ordered 70 times as much stuff if I had one Roosterendo on Tech Talk Taco Tuesday with my $100 gift certificate. That's all it's going to take, and that segment will come back. In fact, I think we want.
Do you have any in the queue?
I got a couple.
Well, bring them up. Let's do one.
That requires show prep, George.
No, it doesn't. Just put the picture up. Let's talk about it and read about it.
Okay, so the picture is on the computer that's over there, and it's in a file in a thing, and I have to send it over to this computer, and then I have to actually load it up so that when we're sitting here on this show and you're trying to
what do you got right here?
When you're trying to co-host my show, then this guy is trying to do his job, but you're sitting here and you're wearing a Jimmy Lewis. No, you're wearing a Tech Talk Taco Tuesday T-shirt. You look good like that, admiring that T-shirt. Like that. Look at your co-host. Give me a nice look over there.
Look at that picture.
Oh, that guy's so cute. Right. Okay.
You're all shaved clean. You look like some temporarily unhoused human.
Professional.
What do you got right here? You got bulletproof design radiator
bulletproof design
guards.
Radiator guards for the Yamaha WR that unfortunately have not made their way out to the Yamaha. That was a big risk, taking that Yamaha WR out for another class session without radiator guards, right. And not because I was riding it, and not because you were riding it, because every once in a while,
could be because I'm riding it. I fall over.
A client wants to ride my bike. You've seen how that goes.
Yeah, usually it's
upside
pretty
down,
controlled.
Right?
No, not really.
Yeah, every once in a while.
Is that all we got on this?
A couple mufflers. That's all.
You don't have any other questions? Are we done? Out? What time is it?
It's about
8:50. See, I did keep them on track. We're less than 2 hours.
Here, George, take your shirt off. Oh, that was very nice of you. Yeah. Hey, if you want to support Jimmy Lewis, that's me, in any way, shape, or form, go to Jimmy Lewis Off-Road. That's www.jimmylewisoffroad.com. We have online riding courses for your beginner friends. And if they're beginner, have never ridden a motorcycle, and you want to help them out and preserve your relationship, I suggest signing up for that $49.95 class. That'll do them wonders. And your relationship
I think
wonders.
Within a few days, your schedule's going to go out for January, February, March, right?
Right. We have online. We have in-person riding classes in January, February, and March. We have some dates that I think we've settled on. Jim, did you get that email?
He didn't check. He wouldn't know.
Yeah, Jim just said me,
but
email.
The
cups with the string.
Cups with the string.
We just
Okay.
use those to communicate with Jim. We just finished up a class.
Hey, if you
and that
guys
was a
give us
pretty
some
good
thumbs
class.
up on this thing, go ahead and give us some thumbs up, and we'll see if we can fit the tourniquet on George's neck before the end of the show. I'd like to think, because looks like he's getting a nosebleed. I'd like to thank George for attempting to host this awesome show. It's
That's
hard.
it. Won't be here Tuesday next week. I'll be gone for a while. You might see me in January.
It's hostess. Yeah, he was a hostess. Yeah, harder than you thought, wasn't it?
No. With no preparation? No.
I'd like to thank Captain Larry for coming on and give us some safety is over there.
Yeah.
Did you get some tequila tonight, Larry?
I'm watering myself.
He's watering himself. My coaches have been out torturing you.
No,
Taking
we
you
had
out
a
on
good, Larry's
torture
good
trail
rider.
rides. Yeah, good times. I like all that. So we've hit milestones in our things. Remember, order your T-shirts. Send that link to your friends. Don't tell them what it is, and just say Christmas presents. That's all you need to say.
San
Christmas
Felipe
presents.
Bob was on there today. Jimmy can set a broken leg. Can you?
Yeah, I didn't tell you how I set broken legs in the field.
Broken legs?
Broken legs.
More than one.
Huh?
More than one.
I broke his leg twice.
Oh.
Yeah, I broke Bob's legs twice. Bob's leg twice. I was just within vicinity of him when it happened. But
Back up on what's Tony got? He's talking about pick my own bend. He wants your bend for some reason. Is he with Flex Bars? He was asking what bend you use on the. Just call him and ask for the Jimmy Lewis package.
I use the 12-degree bars. Yeah, if you call up Fasst Company, they know what I run. They're very aware of what my stuff is. Mark says, great show. The medical part opened a few eyes. Thank you, Mark. And actually, I was surprised at how much training he seemed like he had. He had some good comments in the chat.
Wait, yeah, he did comment, Larry. The ABCs have changed. There's something. Go back to that if you can, or
And
put
Victor
it up,
says,
Mark.
we need to make a class on what to carry, but just stay on the subject. It's very important. Like Victor is telling us to stay on the freaking subject. Hey, Victor, how many penises do you carry inside of your saddlebags? Like, let's just take this show down the road.
Victor. Having met Victor briefly, actually face to face, I never would have thought that guy's as funny as he is. He came out here once and he was so quiet, just, wow, this is where Tech Talk takes place. We did a little flat track stuff, and he's pretty,
I need to get him on. I need
nice
to get
little
him on the
modest
show.
guy. And
no, I want to get
everything.
him on the show. He's a good guy. He's
Yeah,
like I
well,
say, he's
you know
come on a
what?
couple times.
In our May show for Cinco de Mayo,
Cinco de Mayo,
We'll do a
Victor. Your
Cinco de
schedule.
Mayo,
You're
so
booked in, I
May.
guess.
Gotta book Victor
And we're
in.
doing flat track like we did last time.
Yeah,
we're gonna
that'd
do
be
flat
good.
track beforehand and the whole 9 yards. And we're gonna try to do. Hopefully, we're gonna try to do something kind of cool in conjunction with the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame event. I'd like to get some guys out here, and maybe there might be a little impromptu trail ride or something. Again, thanks to Jerry B for all of our art designs and things like that. All of our sponsors, Fasst Company Flex Handlebars, Taco Moto, that's tacomoto.co. And
hey, we had a good class. We had some guys that a lot of them know come to the class.
the Moscow Moto guys.
Moscow Moto team
Right.
came through. They're doing their thing. They've been doing a bunch of filming and everything. We had Travis,
Yep.
who's really good rider, accomplished rider. He came out, took the class. Travis did.
He challenged me as a coach because he did my drills properly, and when you do them properly, I need to help you kick it to the next level. Like when you make the drill look easy, like because everybody asks, how do you have a class where you can have like novice riders and expert riders in the same class? And it's like, well, the problem that the experts have is the same problem that the novice is struggling with. They don't realize it, but it's really simple stuff. But he was making it look easy. He made the drill look easy. I'm like, okay, we're going to show you what the next level is, how to kick it up a notch, how to really be aware of it. And from what I could take from him, he was kind of surprised by some of the stuff I told him, and then he go do it. And you could see it processing. In the beginning, it didn't make sense because that's not the way he's doing it. But then when he started doing it, he goes, oh, I can see how this is opening up a new window to
a little bit of takeaway.
Whatever the
from
next level is.
And I remember he pulled up to me, and it looked like he was kind of really clamping onto the bike with his knees or something. And I said, I'm really not one to speak. You know, I don't have much to
grab
say.
me
to
that
you.
bottle, Larry. Whatever this stuff was.
I said something like,
Joe.
I don't know what to say, you know, but just try this for, you know, grins and see what happens. If it doesn't work for you, go back to whatever you're doing because you're doing really well. But yeah, we had him. Pete came out, who's the owner of Moscow Moto. He was a good student, good guy, and had another friend out here. She did really well. Really saw a lot of improvement between the beginning and the end of the class.
Okay, enough ads.
But yeah.
Can we talk about me again?
No.
Okay, good. So that means we're going to have to end this show. Thanks, everybody, for joining in. Again, yeah, thanks, everybody, for hosting. Mark Daniels had some Grand Mayan. I'm going to finish this off by... I just had a sip of Bailos Gallardos. Gallabose. Pronounce? Yeah. Extra Añejo. Super good. Go to my buddy's tequila shop down in Cabo San Lucas, San Jose de Cabo, and tell them Tech Talk Taco Tuesday sent you. And with that, everybody, we're going to see you out in the trail. So cheers. Now I got to figure out which button I have to push to make this show go away. You know what the best part of the show is, Joe?
The live mic stuff.
No. The best part is when it's over.
Cutro.
Outro.
Are we sure we're off?
Not yet.
On this video, come check us out over at dirtbiketest.com on the webs. We have bike tests, product tests, a lot of fresh dirt, and you can even support us by clicking through our links. Hopefully, we'll see you out in the trail.